The views and opinions of this podcast are solely our own and in no way meant to offend or upset anyone. We ad-lib, paraphrase and imitate to convey reviewed content only. It's a bit of a laugh. Enjoy!
I'll be the last one left when the lights go out. I'm down to one last breath, but I can't stop now. We all fall down sometimes, yeah, but that's just life. So cross my heart and hope to die. Baby, I was born to fight the fear when I feel like dying. I'm trying to fly high, but I'm not a pilot, can't deny it. There's some days I feel idiotic, just a product of a system where you're lucky just to make.
Hello there everybody, better late than never this week. We are What's the Script, episode 23 of series 2, and it was my pick last week. We are doing 1992, innit?
Yes.
Unforgiven. Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, Gene Hackman, and as I said last week, whole lot of bitches.
Aye. Unforgiven. Aye, no bad. On the cusp of going to London, so
Fuck you.
there's a wee tinge of excitement in the air there.
Fuck you and your pal. hope Kathleen Kennedy announces another 10-year contract.
So yeah, on the cusp of going to Star Wars Celebration, folks. So yes.
Well jealous, man. Well done. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it for me, because I wish I was going. I did give you ample opportunity when you told me about it to say, come along, Craig, you're not a bitch, fuck you. I'll just stay in the house and make R2-D2 noises at my wains. It'll be good, mate, it'll be good. I'll go to one day, but looking forward to it for you. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the whole thing, mate. See, until last week, I think we were only doing the Sunday. And then I was like, well, we're going to be there all day Monday anyway, so just buy the Monday ticket. So,
all right, I thought you were only doing Sunday. No, that's brilliant. That's good.
No.
So you're not going to have to try and rush everything on the one day, are you? Do you know what I mean?
I end up with a snapped hamstring. Know what I mean? Chewbacca! Help!
Did you hurt yourself at Star Wars Celebration? It's true. All of it. So, as we said there, we're doing The Unforgiven. We've not done a Western in a long, long time. I didn't think we'd done one at all, but I suppose Old Country for Old Men, kind of in that setting a lot, wasn't he, in the Old West, you know what I mean? But this is a great film, nominated for a lot of awards back in the day, and we're proud again to bring it to you in conjunction and partnership with Tone Multimedia. My good friend Tim, take care of all your multimedia needs, photography, GIFs, videos, sound bites, the whole shebang. If you're looking to get into the digital side of things or just have a special occasion photographed, get onto my man Tim, who is also doing the 1874 podcast with Arthur AFC, which I've just listened to with Ryan Dunsmore, and it was absolutely brilliant. The guy sounds like Barry Ferguson.
Yeah. It sounds like Barry Ferguson.
Apart from it didn't say FUD, didn't call anybody FUD. So it's apart from that, it sounds like Barry Ferguson.
No.
So, mate, film starts, doesn't it? We've got a wee silhouette at the horizon, and it's we don't know it yet, but it's William Money just digging a grave in it.
He's digging a grave for his beloved. Who? What does it say? She wasn't an uncomely woman.
It was a comely young woman. And there's another wee bit, and then it says, when she died, it was not by his hands, but it was by the smallpox. Year of our Lord, 1878.
Aye. I was just getting you a wee hang me on it, a wee insight that she was a nice woman. See, obviously at the end of the film, I don't know what this is supposed to symbolise, right? But she was a decent woman, know what I mean? And he was just a complete cunt, for a lack of a better words, wasn't it? Just a pure cutthroat, thief, murderer.
Aye. As we find out going through the film, she came along at the right time and kind of changed his life, changed his ways. Quit the whiskey.
That's thing as well. His mother-in-law. The boy's no good. Go and get him out. Get him out,
Go on there.
Sharon.
Yes.
It's him or me.
I know. So it's doing that. We just get a wee opening montage, and then we're very quickly into the town of Big Whiskey, Wyoming. That's just 2 years after his wife dies. It's 1880, and it's dreep, pissing a rain, pure dark, and then you just hear the sound of coitus in the air, don't you?
The beasts with two backs. Oh, and the man is getting dug in with such vigor. Such vigor.
Oh, gusto, I would even suggest.
See the way she's got
He's
her feet
putting
up
in-
and all.
Oh, I know. Her big mad heels are just pointing to the sky. I mean,
Oh.
another 50 years' time, she'll get radio signals on the heels.
Oh, man. Oh,
Aye.
and stirrups,
He's-
man. He's getting fucking
he's
beefed
fair.
in. Oh,
Aye, so there's a guy having coitus with one of the working girls who turns out to be the maison derriere owner, which is Alice. Well, she's not the owner, she's the chief whore. But she's the chief whore, she's a top fanny. But they get interrupted, didn't they hear commotion coming from another room, didn't they, mate?
Aye, you hear lots, obviously stuff getting smashed and all that, and they end the act, don't they? And they just charge on to see what's going on here, and then that's when they open the door and there's this big, massive cunt standing with a big shiny knife. Know what I mean? But
Aye.
it gets a bit brutal here, doesn't it?
Aye, setting about his whore, who's Delilah, and he's slashing her face, and he's shouting and bawling, he's ranting about her and saying how you say that about me and blah blah blah. But ends up, he's like, hey, get off of him. He's like, get off, I'm gonna cut her teeth off.
I know, mate. And he's just slicing away at it. See that actress as well. See, like, every film I've seen her in, she's really had no luck at all. Because I'm sure she was the mother in the Crow movie. See, she was a mad junkie and all that.
Oh, if you're getting back now, man.
I was like, how she's like genuinely had no luck. Know what I mean?
But the kind of commotion stoked by the owner of the establishment, who's skinny, and he owns the whole like bar, and he's in charge of the house. He's a pimp of his time, entrepreneur, the guy. But he puts a gun to the back of the guy's head and says, "Go on there, get off her, get there." Fucking, we're going to be saying that a lot in this. Go on there.
I know there's going to be so much stupid southern stuff, and it's not even that funny. Know what I mean? Oh,
I know. He says to her, he says, what the fuck happened and all that? But Alice, who's comforting Delilah, says she only said it had a tiny pecker. She didn't know any better.
oh, mate. Oh, imagine that getting slashed for laughing at somebody's wee chode. Unbelievable.
Right. Obviously, when you're starting out in the prostitution game, that's one thing you don't say to your clients. You know what I mean? You got a tiny pecker.
Oh, you roll that down to a nub.
Right. So they go and get Little Bill. Little Bill's obviously the sheriff of the town, head honcho. You'll find out later on he's got about 3,000 fucking deputies in the film. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Alice is shouting, "Get him hung, hang him." It's a hanging he wants.
Aye. Hang them boys. But Gene, obviously the Little Bill's played by Gene Hackman, who's fucking amazing in this. But like we were saying the other night there, I don't think Gene Hackman's been bad in anything.
No, I mean, I totally agree with you, and I know for a fact that I've probably not even seen 40% of his films because he gets such a back catalogue. He's got such a body of work. A bevy of films in that body of work, so there is. An absolute raking him. But Bill, he's got the two guys kind of tied back to back, and he's all for, I think this boy here deserves a whipping. Alice can't hold her waistcoat, you know. She's like, a whipping, fucking whipping, look at her face, man. She's not going to earn again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. And then wee Skinny pipes up again, doesn't he? Yeah, listen, she has my property and she's damaged. Know what I mean? I feel I should be getting a wee bit compensation. And it's just very telling of the times, isn't it?
It's quite funny how he tries to explain it like a businessman. I have a contract, little Bill, a contract for business, little Bill, and I expect to be getting my money's worth, little Bill. Look at her face, nobody gonna hump her.
Nobody's gonna hump a cut up whore. My Janice
Aye.
Rossi.
I know, man. So then little Bill just decides to say, look, come spring, what have you got? Horses and ponies and shit. Says, aye, come spring, you be back here. Bring my man Skinny here. You bring 5 of your best ponies, you bring 2. And Alice is getting off her nut, but Bill just goes like that, look, there was this hard working boys, just she's like, what are you talking about?
No, mate. See when you're like that, see when you think about it, you're going, what the fuck is the thinking behind that there, Bill? Know what I mean? Because
probably today it'd be called misogyny.
Aye. Aye, but that's it. Instead of these 2 guys getting hung or even whipped, they've just front up a couple of horses. Know what I mean?
That's it, mate. So the cows don't like this. They get together. Cows. They'll get together and they'll decide to look, these bastards, I'm gonna get what? I just don't feel right saying who. It doesn't sound right coming out of Scottish guys. Fucking myth, doesn't it? No.
Aye, because we say hooker and the likes, don't we? But,
aye, slag, cow, cow. But they all decide, have a wee chinwag. They decide, listen, we're going to get them. They're just desserts. We'll hire a hitman. We'll put the word out and all that. How much money you got? How much money you got? And that's basically it. And Alice Strawberry, her name is or something. She's like that. Just because we let them ride as like horses doesn't mean they need to treat us like horses. We're not horses.
For real, boy.
So that's it. They've put up a bounty of $1,000, and they're telling anybody that comes in and has a wee shot of them to spread the word. You know what I mean?
Aye. You'll not be getting STDs, but you'll be getting a telltale, I tell you.
Oh. Aye, I want big heels that poke the ceiling. But then we quickly morph over to the Money Ranch. Ranch, it's like a hut with a pig pen in it, you know what I mean?
It's so depressing, isn't it? Just it's a wee house in the middle of nowhere, in it, in the middle of the plains, and William Money, Clint Eastwood, is he, a pig farmer? Know what I mean?
So he's in the pigsty or the pig pen. He's wrestling about with these pigs and he's fawning about like a fucking daft. You know what I mean? Getting all covered in muck and shit. And his wee wins. He's got a wee boy and a wee girl, and they're trying to help. And hey, there, looks like another 2 of them hogs got fever.
Oh, mate, mad Cletus.
He's got fever, Pop. Well, you go in there, go and separate them 2 from the other ones. Go in there, get. And that's when Mad Schofield just appears, doesn't it?
Aye, Philip Schofield skid. He just shows up like, you don't look like no mangy killer. Like, fucking, is this what you just ride into the plains and just start quizzing people? Know what I mean? But he's there, he's rhyming off Will's past, isn't he? I heard you were William Money, scariest killer these lands have ever did seen and all that shit, you know what I mean? Like, behave yourself.
But he's got it in good authority because it's his Uncle Pat or something in it.
Aye.
And obviously,
he was part of the dirty.
Doesn't really open his eyes very much in anything, but he just goes, it's just a wee, I know that guy. You might be telling. He tries to say, I got the wrong fella.
Aye.
He offers my partnership.
He rode with me when I was part of the Dirty Mike and the boys there.
Aye.
Oh,
but young Schofield offers my partnership. He's heard about the £1,000 bounty for getting these 2 guys that cut up Delilah. So,
see what's funny about this? I know how it just gets pure exaggerated. They cut her face They cut her ears off. They cut her eyeballs out. And then that's when I went, oh, that's a bit drastic. And then he goes, they even cut her teeth. And I'm like, why is
Aye,
why
that's
is
enough.
cutting her teeth more extreme than cutting her eyes out? You know what I mean?
No. But that's enough to spike Williams' curiosity, because obviously, as you said, mate, everything's fair game and excusable, apart from the teeth. Don't
Aye.
cut no woman's teeth. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But he
fuck.
tells him, he says, look, son, the guy you've just described is long ago. I've been 10 years sober. I don't do that anymore. I'm just looking after my kids, trying to raise some fucking rancid pigs, man. I've got fever.
Aye. The first outbreak of the swine flu. But he just says, aye, because his wife, isn't it? His wife, he'll no date because of his wife and all that stuff. And the Philip Schofield kid is like, just, you can buy a new pretty dress and all that. And he's like, no, she's dead and all this, carry on. And you're just like, oh, it's in her memory. He's not going to go back to his old ways and all this stuff. But it's the wee,
I
just the wee guy rides off. He's like, don't tell no one about that money now.
Listen now, if you change your mind, I'll be heading due east that way. He points to it. But I won't be riding hard in case you want to catch up. Thanks very much, mate. So he trots away. We're back in the pig pen, and William fucking falls again. Finds out he's another two pigs have got the fever, and he's just nothing's happening for a minute, no man.
Aye. He's assessed that this is a failure, know what I mean? And he can't leave his wains to this sort of stuff, know what I mean? But
we quickly morph back to Big Whiskey, and by this time it's springtime.
it sounds like somebody's nickname, did it?
Big
Yeah,
Whiskey.
Big Whiskey. You're mad
I know.
bastard.
I can imagine that's you on a night out. Here he is, Big Whiskey. How you doing, sir? But obviously, there's a couple of months past, which didn't really make relevant. But the two boys have come back into Big Whiskey with the ponies, haven't they? The payment.
Aye, and they'll come in to pay the skinny, the brothel keeper, into, and just on him had whores or all out hanging up their ration and all that, know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, that's a shame that. Know what I mean?
Skinny's more than happy. He loves a horse, doesn't he? He's like, oh yeah, that'll do nicely. I like that one.
Aye.
But the best horse, the one that didn't cut the lassie up, he tries to give to the lassie. He says, look, ma'am, this is for you. I know I had no part in it, but I feel responsible. This pony's for you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the lassies just start flinging shite at them, didn't they?
Aye, actual flinging fucking hornfuls of shite at them. Well, get out of here! Get out of here!
Don't need your goddamn pony.
I know the is it Strawberry her name is? She does make a good point, know what I mean? She's like, what the fuck does she want with a horse? She's not got a face left, know what I mean?
Exactly.
But see that wee guy, I know you kind of feel sorry for these two cunts, right? But I don't get why he was to get killed, I know.
No.
Because he was in the other room when the shit went down, and then he tried to stop the guy when he started slashing her. Know what I mean?
I know.
And you're just like, I
He
don't
was in there
understand.
just trying. He was in there trying to get Clyde too after boat with her boots, man. You know what I mean? But the next thing you know, he's fucking getting up his horses and getting shite flung at him.
Oh,
And by the way, shite. See if you ever want to challenge you in see the next time you go to the toilet, try and wipe your arse with your rang hon. It's fucking horrendous. Seems you've been using the one hon for 45 years. Oh, it's no fun at all.
Aye, well,
One's covered.
Da Vinci didn't
One's
have
covered.
that problem. You see, he was eye wiping his ass. He was
So we get
ambidextrous.
swiftly we get back to the William Money Pig Farm, and William decides he's going to get his guns out and have a wee bit of target practice, isn't he?
Aye, he gets his old revolver into you, but the touch has left him. Know what I mean? Why is that a 6-shooter? And he misses all 6 shots, and he's just he does that that Clint Eastwood thing. Just I just
There's that Jim Carrey face.
I know he's walking back into the house, isn't he? And then the wee lashes that. the daddy used to kill peoples. What? What? How do you get that for him missing in that can? Know what I mean?
I know.
Oh,
And you think, at first you think, yeah, his eyesight's offsky, but it's no. He's actually got the shakes. He's got the
aye.
DTs, and that's how he can't hit. He can't compose himself. Know what I mean? But he's no. He can't hit his can, but he's getting pissed off. So he goes away in the house, comes back out with a rifle, blows a hanky up.
That's it. Know what I mean? Job done. But he starts. Does he know? He goes and visits his wife's grave, doesn't he?
So he's
And
shaving that, goes up to his wife's grave.
because you always need to present yourself when you got to see a stone. A
I
stone.
know. It's then you find out that his wife was only 29 years old when she died, man.
Aye.
So a young lassie, man, and he's made his mind up. He's got to go and fucking get into partnership. So he tells his wains, which is awfully nice of him. You can kill a couple of chickens if you need to, and eat the two fever-ridden hogs.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Do this, your mum's that. Right. The turkey dinosaurs are in the fridge, right? And there's chips up there and all, and there's bread, and just if you need something, just make it.
Step brothers, what for one wings, Dad? Yeah. But the next thing is, his wee boy, Williams saddled a horse up, and his wee boy says to him, says, Dad, that horse has never been saddled. The next thing you know, it's just a bit of a comedy festa. Clint Eastwood trying to go on a horse and falling off and shambles on it.
Aye, and he just what is it? He makes it. Oh, I've not been in a saddle myself for many years. But this, this is I was laughing at it all. See, at this point, Clint Eastwood mentions their dear departed mother about fucking 6 times, man. He's like, the horse is getting even with me for the way I used to treat animals back in the day. But your dear departed mother fixed me so she did. And then like, you're under the care of your dear departed mum. And your mum changed me, your dear departed mum. They know their moss did, mate.
Aye. He even says that the hogs getting the fever or getting back, it's God getting back at him, and all that for his wicked ways. And do you know what I mean? So as you say, mate, aye. I think your wife's dead.
Aye, his wife's pan breed there. Oh,
but it says to them, any hassles to have to go and stay away. Auntie somebody, can't remember her name.
Aye, Sunnyside or something.
So we're back in Big Whiskey, and the women are getting warmed into, man, mad skinny.
Aye.
He's heard that they've been telling all the punters about this £1,000 to kill the two guys, so he's got Alice's horn up her back. Where's the money? Give the money. Give me the fucking money and all that. You know what I mean?
Aye, goes full Stewie Griffin. Where's my money, man?
So, where's my money? That's good, OJ. Give my money, man. But he starts chastising them. He says, "You've got $1,000. What are you going to do? Hump him 1,000 times?"
I know, mate. It's fuck. Oh, just a pure bevy of humping there.
Rake of humps. So Skinny goes like that, fuck yous, and goes away out to Little Bill's, building his own ranch and all that, or his own house with a porch. And he goes out and grasses him, doesn't he? He says, look, Little Bill, these bitches of mine have been telling him that it'll listen for months, coming and going, that they've put a bounty out on these two guys, $1,000. So Little Bill has a think about it, goes, what? He says, for all this time, so it must have happened a good time ago, obviously.
Aye.
He says, God, they'll have heard about it down in Texas, Missouri, and Nebraska, and fucking.
Aye.
He's like, not on. It's not happening. Not on my watch.
That's it. Aye, because he knows what's coming into it, or these mad assassins are going to appear in this wee tune. But see the way Skinny leaves like that, just goes, well, Bill, I've got to get on doing stuff, you know, like that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Know what I mean? It's just.
I know. Gotta go and tend to my whores net, you know. Gotta go and spit in tumblers and wipe them.
Sitting on a rocking chair with one of the big long pipes. Just, it's gonna rain tomorrow.
But them clouds coming in. So we then flash back to William, who's arrived at Ned's house. Ned's his pal, isn't it?
Aye. Ned is played by Morgan Freeman, who's a smashing actor as well, I might say.
Another one of the actors that's never been a young man in his fucking life.
Aye. That's what I mean. Mind we were talking about this. Clint Eastwood has been old for he's been young. Know what I mean? I can't remember like Clint Eastwood ever looking young or like acting young. Know what I mean? He's always been like just an old man personified.
No, I think he's 90 now, isn't he? 90 something.
Aye.
Jesus. But he gets to Ned's house, dismounts, and Ned's married to a Native American woman called Sally. And Sally's no happy to see William arrive. And she's even less happy when she goes to put his horse up and she sees the rifle sticking out his saddlebag.
Yeah. And actually, a bit of trivia here for you. That character, Sally, is actually the inspiration behind the song Mustang Sally. So,
You fucking full of shit. It's April 7th, mate. It's not April 1st. I was going to say some. I told Sally she was never happy. I told Sally she was never happy when she saw Will's gun.
oh dear.
So
But
Ned's trying to talk. William's obviously told Ned his plan. He wants him to come along and help him. Ned's like, look, William, what are you talking about? When was the last time you even fired a gun? About 10 years? 11.
and it's just we're a couple of old men now. It wasn't much fun then. I don't know if we're much fun now. Know what I mean? But then that's when he tells them, they cut her eyes out, cut her ears off, even cut her tits. Everything but a cunny, I suppose.
Aye. But even there, when the word like slashing gets mentioned, even Ned goes, oh, teats. Oh. But then Ned's last gasp thing to say to him, which is a bit below the belt, he says, obviously, if Claudia was still alive, you wouldn't even be doing this. Fucking just gets a mad Clint Eastwood stare at him, doesn't he?
Aye.
Yeah,
Oh, how dare you? But he obviously takes that as the no, doesn't he? And he goes, do you mind looking in on my youngins while I'm away? Know what I mean? But obviously Ned himself, I don't know. It's like when Will says that's what changes Ned's mind. Know what I mean? That he's still got two young kids to look after. Know what I mean? So he's like, well, I can't let him ride off on himself in case he doesn't come back. Know what I mean?
Because as he's talking to Ned, he's sitting down and he's looking up at him, and all the while you can see this Spencer rifle up above Ned's head, hanging above the door. So you still got that Spencer rifle.
Oh, what's it he says?
Sally.
You can still shoot a bird in the eye while moving like that.
Aye.
That's a pretty nifty shot.
Aye. Especially with a shotgun round. You know what I mean? That will take the heat clean off, fuck's sake.
Oh.
But Sally's raging.
Aye.
Mustang's raging. Then we get so Ned obviously goes with him. This is when we get another one of these wee fucking silhouette single guitar string montages.
I thought
It's
you were
just
going to start doing
mental.
that song at the end of the Hulk. Do 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 do.
I nearly did, mate. Aye. So you get a bit of that, a bit of silhouette, a bit of horses' hoofs going through little brooks and all that, splashing water, and they're going to try and catch up with young Schofield, aren't they?
Yeah, young Philip. But it ends up to Will and Ned, isn't it? Sitting by a campfire talking about the old days, isn't it? And it's just it's Will's explaining to him that he's no the way he was anymore, isn't it? And he's just I'm not doing the old ways anymore.
You knew it was coming, mate. You knew it was coming. And he says to Ned, he says, like his wife, he says, Sally, she don't like me much. She gave me the evil eye.
When Morgan Freeman just busts into, what, Mustang Sally?
But William does say, he says, God, if you knew what a no good son of a bitch I was back in the day. And then, as you say, mate, he goes, but I ain't going back to that. I ain't. Trying to convince himself. Done with the whiskey and all that shit. And then he starts reminiscing about guys he killed. Remember that guy shot through the mouth? His teeth come flying out.
Aye, I guess as I'm just like that, they things will never leave him. But Claudia changed him. Know what I mean? Claudia the Saint.
Well, that's the thing about Chuck the Drink. You're forced to deal with reality. So he's obviously, for the last 10 years, that's all he's thought about is everything that he used whiskey to block out, all the killings and all that, you know what I mean? But it's become a wee bit more prominent when he gets a fever and starts talking about it a bit more. Yeah. So we then flash to the train coming into town, didn't we?
Yes. And then, this is when we meet English Bob.
English Bob, who's very proper and just wants to talk about the Queen and the monarchy and royalty and all that shit. Obviously thinks he's better than any American. And he's just waffling shite on the train, isn't he?
Aye, he's saying to these Americans know that. I mean, why wouldn't you shoot the president? It's not like he's a king or a queen.
Aye, exactly, because this is just after Lincoln, isn't it?
Aye.
So of course he would shoot a president.
He's just a man, isn't he? But when you're stood in front of royalty, you see, a character, that is when you begin to shake. The wee cowboy guy gets offended. You're cruising for a bruising, mister. You know what I mean? But he's just...
Hold on there, skeet. I'm reckoning this is English Bob. Might be he's itching for some cowboy to touch his pistol. And then the guy just hides his waist and goes, "Is that right, mister? You English Bob?" He just sits back. "Oh, yeah, well, it's been said, you know."
He just goes up. Pheasants. But what? But obviously it's a shooting competition, isn't it? So as the train's passing by, English Bob is shooting all these pheasants, one shot at a time and all this stuff, know what I mean? But so he tells him, he goes, looks like I got 7 pheasants to your 1. That'll be 7 of your US dollars. The wee guy whips in the wee coin purse. That's some good shooting, English Bob.
And while they're doing that, get into they're still on the moving train when they've been doing this. They just pass by the big sign that says "No firearms." In return, a big whiskey.
Aye,
no
he's
firearms.
In the coach, isn't he? That's when he's just because this other wee guy is with him, who is absolutely fantastic and true romance. See, oh mate,
Aye.
Oh, superb man! But he's like a writer, isn't he?
Mr. Busham.
Aye. You want me to suck his dick? Oh, who the fuck is Dick? Oh.
Aye. So Mr. Beauchamp's riding with English Bob, and he's his publicist, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's like a biographer, isn't he? And it's...
Aye.
But that's the thing as well. English Bob used to be hired by the railway to shoot Chinamen, as they say. And as he's getting into town, there's 2 Chinese guys walking down the road. And he just puts his gun and he goes, pop, pop. But the 2 Chinese guys laughing all at them on the joke. English Bob, you mad bastard.
Oh, I do love shooting a Chinaman. Oh no, bad bastard. So they get into town, and one of the Little Bill's many deputies stops them and asks them to check their firearms, didn't he?
Aye. And just English Bob goes another way of just telling them to fuck off, didn't he? Well, I can assure you, me and my companion are not armed, and we rely on the goodwill of our fellow man. Bye.
We find that traveling in the country, we get by on more than just guns, but on wit and humour, panache, you see. We have such a body of work, it precedes us.
Oh.
But the deputy knows he's telling porcupines.
Aye, that's it. Oh, and this is the wee deputy goes. They go and tell Bob, didn't they? Obviously.
Well, before they go and tell Little Bill, the deputies are all in the kind of jailhouse and they're loading up their pistols and they're all
That's
arguing
it.
among themselves. We tell Little Bill, aye, we will tell Little Bill. Should we tell Little Bill? And there's one deputy who's got one arm.
He's got three
God,
guns.
God damn it, Bill. You got three pistols there, one fucking arm.
But it's all like, oh, I fucking thought was hilarious. Is that? Oh, it's a hot day. I'd rather get shot on a hot day. I don't want to get shot on a cold day.
I
Fucking
know,
difference to
fucking
me.
that's how they think. You know what I mean? But
Oh,
they're talking amongst each other, and one of the deputies says, "Look, I told Little Bill," and then another deputy says, "And what did they say? What did they?
aye.
Nothing." But Jake Little Bill scared, and that's when like Clyde, his name is, just stops what he's doing and goes, "Little Bill, scared? Do you even know who our fucking sheriff is? You know what I mean?
Aye, exactly.
He
Aye.
worked the toughest towns in Texas. He was Roadhouse back in the day. So he was
But as
Patrick Swayze.
you kind of find out that obviously that's obviously a wee telltale sign that Ball's he's got a bit of a past in it, know what I mean?
Aye.
But we're back to English Bob, isn't we? He's in the barbers and he's still not on about royalty, isn't he? Our
I
president is
still
just a
laugh
man,
on.
you see.
Aye. Fucking just you're choking for this guy to get done in, know what I mean?
Aye. See,
Uh,
the wee barber, I know he's like the barber. I say, my man, if you ever were to point a pistol at someone, he would shake. And the wee guy goes, I won't go fixing to point a pistol at someone. And he goes, well, should you?
where
The wee
might
guy
one
went.
get his knob polished and something to eat? Well, sir, if you go over that there house and ask for Alice and a game of billiards, she'll see you right. Even if I don't wish to play billiards. Yes, sir.
So was it?
Okay.
They burned the table in 1800.
Uh, Burnt
Oh,
tail back in 78. What? No, 2 years later. They playing billiards then, I take it. So he steps
oh,
out the barbers with Mr. Beauchamp and all the guns just cocked into
aye.
and Little Bill stunning. Hello, Bob.
Aye, well, he's deputies in it. And then that's when you English Bob's mantra kind of drops in it. He's just like, oh shit. Know what I mean? Little
Aye.
Bill, I heard you were dead. That you were drunk and you fell off your horse and broke your bloody neck.
Hell, even I thought I was dead. Turns out I was just in Nebraska.
Oh, but as it's obviously without seeing too much into it, it's these two know each other for the past. Know what I mean? So it was just everybody must have just been a complete wronging back in the day, and now they're all trying to like give themselves new identities. Know what I mean?
That's it. Try to start over. Um, Obviously, English Bob is trying to make a couple of quid on his legend, which is 80% shite.
Aye.
But they ask, Little Bill asks, he says, "Who's this fine gentleman with you?" And all that. Yeah, this is Mr. Beauchamp. He's my writer. Mr. Beauchamp goes to get into his bag, and everybody just goes woof, guns right on him. it's 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 a pen, and he just pushes himself into it.
Aye. So it just empties the whole bladder, didn't he? But Bob just they eventually disarm English Bob, didn't they? Know what I mean? But it's like see what Bob says to his wee deputy. Now check Mr. Busham's bag there, make sure it is what it's carrying, and make sure you don't get wet.
Glass in it.
Aye.
And then the wee deputy checks his bag, and he's kind of disappointed. He goes, well, hell, Bill, there's only writing stuff in here. Little book and some pens and such. Yeah, looking for a great good shooting." He pulls out the wee book, and he says, "This is what I've been writing. It says on it the Duke of Death." But Little Bill just says, "Oh, the Duck of Death."
Aye.
The Duke, actually. No, Duck.
Aye.
He
Duke
meant it.
Bill. Aye.
Before he even turns around,
But
he thinks
English Bob
he's
thinks
taking
he
all
can
his guns.
Aye, he thinks he can just. I'll end the conversation here. Charlie ho, and that's when Bill asks for his wee sidearm, doesn't he?
I had that 32, Bob. And did you see English Bill's face going, fucking something remembered?
Aye, he's no half of that boy. But what is it? It says, "Now, Bill, you will leave me at the mercy of my enemies."
But Bill takes a wee 32 of the pea shooter off him, turns around and just fucking scuds him. And then just for the next kind of 2 minutes, just goes about setting about him, doesn't he?
Aye, gives him a full-on scheme booting. Know what I mean? And English Bob ends up with all sorts of crimson in his face, doesn't he? But the whole time, Bob's shouting his head off, isn't he? But the whole town's watching us, isn't it? And I think this is like the first glimpse of the town going, oh, he's no just a sheriff. He's a bad man, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Aye. He's little Bill is probably glad of this. Can see the whole town, and he looks about when he notices everybody's watching. He goes like that. I want you to tell everybody that comes through here, and I want you to tell your neighbours, your sisters, there ain't no whore's gold. This is what happens to you. You know what I mean? It was like that. Yeah. Who am I?
Only a fool's gold.
That's it. No whore's gold, only a fool's gold. So the next, we're back to Ned on the horse, and he's saying to Will, you never go into town, get yourself a woman. And he's like, nah. I fucking ruined the memory of my wife and all that. Then Ned goes like, what, just use your hand?
So anyway, well, looks at him, just on the horse, just, you calling me a wanker?
Okay, I can sell doing that. And then gunfire starts shooting, so the two of them have to jump after horses and lie in the grass, don't they?
Aye, and it's Ned, isn't it? He's like, whoever this is, they're just shooting at the horizon. Know what I mean? Just shooting everywhere. They're not even shooting at them. And then that's when Will starts shouting on the Philip Schofield kid. Right, kid, it's us. Stop shooting. Know what I mean? And see this the wee guy who plays the Schofield kid. He just annoys me for some reason. I don't know what it is. And see,
I know what it is.
And another like as well, he reminds me of Christian Slater for some reason.
Well, I was going to say to you, this is a role that could have been played by like a Christian Slater or an Emilio Estevez or somebody of that ilk. You'd get a lot more fucking camaraderie between the three characters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But he's really a bit part actor, and he's no very good actor. And I think that's what annoys you, makes it annoyed the fucking life out of me when it starts going on about I've done this, I've done that, I've killed 5 men, and they're like, no, you've no, mate, shut up. You know what I mean?
Aye.
So William shouts to him and says, I'm going to come out. Don't go shooting us now, you hear? I won't shoot. Well, get your damn hands off my rifle, mister. Ned tries to look at his rifle.
Aye, because what is it? Ned says to him, I was just making sure something wasn't bent. You were shooting everywhere. Know what I mean? But it boils down to it. Will says to him, I reckon we can split this bounty 3 ways. And the wee boys like that, nah, no chance. So they two just go to ride away into it, and then again that reveals Schofield's character a wee bit, like, oh, don't leave me, I'm only a wee boy. Know what I mean?
I could kill them all myself, but I don't want to because I'm not good at it.
But it's agreed, isn't it? They're going to split the bounty 3 ways, and off they ride, back on the trail, on the road again.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that bit of Willie Nelson coming in there. But that would be cracking if it was. On the road again. Just can't believe I'm on this road again. Oh, brilliant. But you threw me there.
Oh, don't.
You really have threw me there.
Right, the shooter's never went away there. Oh.
So off the pot, again, Schofield, the last thing he says about it is, what does it come to 3 ways anyway? Can't even fucking divvy up 1,000 3 ways, you know what I mean?
But
So we got an all guitar montage. Fucking
and,
broken musical box guitar, man.
and that's when Will's, he's like, oh shit, because he sees a storm coming in the distance. But obviously, wee Schofield can't see it, know what I mean? And that's it leads to them, like Ned, giving him a test into it. See that hawk up there? I could shoot that. And he's like, well, shit, mister, so could I. No fooling, mister.
Could you really? Aye. Well, guess what? There's no hawk up there. Jesus, Will, this guy's blind as shit.
And then see what he goes like, he grabs his canteen, doesn't he? And he throws the canteen down. He goes, see your canteen, and shoots it, bang, bang, bang. Like, sorry, you've just taken my one source of carrying water through the trail, and you're fucking shot it to bits. Have you ever tried to drink water through a cheese grater, son?
Ever try to eat soup with a fork, you wee bastard? But it turns out the boy, he can't see. I don't know if that's long-sighted or short-sighted. He can see up to 50 yards, no bother. And he's quite a keen shot. But anything by that, he's blind. Aye. Blind as fucking Stevie Wonder. You know what I mean?
Aye, completely hopeless. But
Will talks Ned round. He goes, look, it's all right. We can use 50 yards, you know what I mean? We'll work something out. It's all right. And then we just quickly go back to the jailhouse, didn't we?
Aye. We went to Jailhouse Rock. And little Bill sitting reading the Duck of Death book, into, and he's just laughing at it. He's just like, well, it seems to me a lot of the stuff in this is over exaggerated. And the wee biographer's like, well, you need to do that. And he's like, no, listen, I was there that night at the, what was it, the Bluebell bar or something like that. I can't remember what it is. But and the wee biographer's like, oh.
Tell me more. Oh, my pen aches for your tongue there. But it's brilliant. Gene Hackman goes into a montage of telling Mr. Beauchamp the real story about what he's written down. Fucking English Bob's version. English Bob's made it out to be a fastest gun in the West, quick draw, bang, bang, bang.
Aye.
But little Bill takes great delight in telling him the true story, doesn't he?
Oh, mate, it's just like aye. The thing is, Corky two guns didn't have two guns. He had one gun. But because of that penis that he carried about with him was bigger than his gun, they called him Two Gun Corky.
Aye, brilliant, man.
And what he says to it, and he took that big dick of his and he stuck it into a wee French lady that English Bob was sweet on. You know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, you dirty bastard.
Now, Bob, you didn't like this too much, didn't you not, Bob? Bob's lying in the fucking cell going, bastard. And he pulled his gun, but because he was so damn drunk, he didn't hit anything. And then Corky tried to pull his one gun, and he was so damn drunk that he missed. But he had a misfire or something, which was common in that kind of gun.
In that rifle. And it blew his horn off, sort of thing. And that's when English Bob shot him. And that's when the whole veil has dropped down that English Bob isn't a great gun slinger or anything like that. He just took advantage of this guy that was unarmed. Know what I mean?
Walked right up slowly because he was drunk. And stuck his that 32 of his right in the guy's right in old Corky's gullet, and then he just calls him out. He says, "See here, English Bob, I call him out as a liar and a coward." Do you know what I mean? And just keeps calling him the duck. It's fucking brilliant.
The Duck of Death. Because that's what he says. The wee biographer goes at him, doesn't he? It's actually the Duke of Death, and he goes, "No, I said duck." He's like,
we're referring to him as the fucking duck. He's a man's quackers, man. He's fucking quackers, a cunt.
Hey, but I'm.
So we're out camping, back with our boys here.
Yeah.
And Schofield's asking Will, about all the killings that he done in Jackson and all these fables that his Uncle Pat's told him and shit, hadn't he?
Aye, thought he'd be
I
brought
don't,
balls.
I don't recollect.
Just that man, Clint Eastwood acting. I don't go remember now.
I don't recollect. Love that fucking saying, don't recollect. I need to use that more in real life. But it's not because he's blanked it out, it's just because he fucking really can't remember it because he's been drunk for 20 years, you know what I mean? So Schofield says, without being asked, I killed 5 men. Did you know? Smashing that. Thanks for sharing. Including a Mexican came up with an ass. Again, that's brilliant news. You get to sleep now, you wee bastard.
Aye, because the two of them don't believe him at all, don't they? Know? Even Ned's like that. It gives him a look like, okay. I mean, boil your head,
They've heard it. They've heard it. They've seen it. They've lived it. They've probably came across 100 young boys that like to embellish the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Aye.
But we're back in the jailhouse again. Mr. Beauchamp is rewriting the book, and Little Bill's narrating, telling him the real stories and kind of stuff. Explains how gunslingers draw, and he says, like, he's quite a good explanation about the whole fastest gun in the West thing being a bit of a myth, didn't he?
Aye. He says that the person that's the guy that's gone is most calm in these situations is the guy that will win in a draw. I mean, you can be as quick as you like, but a quick guy, he's rushing and he misses his shot. You know what I mean? Whereas the calm guy will hit you every time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he
so
says.
Beauchamp's writing this down, and that's when he pulls the gun out and goes like, "Look, I'll show you." And he gives him the gun, didn't he?
Aye. And he's like, "Go, look, you need cock it, and now point it at me." And then see as it's grown, it gets more sinister, isn't it?
See English Bob, he starts getting fucking off. Starts getting all fucking erect.
I starts when we's in belly button, isn't he? Get in there, nothing, D Black.
Starts picking his arse and smelling it. Oh, fuck these farts.
Dip into the jailhouse toilet and just starts putting war paint on himself with shit like.
So he's like, points at me. And he's like, "What, is it loaded?" They went, "Wouldn't be much use if it wasn't." But Beauchamp's like, "No, I don't want to." And he goes like, "Gate to him." Gate to Bob. And Bob's like, yeah. So he does. He hands it. He's just stoning. And Bob comes up to the bars, seriously thinking about it. But he's fucking arse collapsed, done it.
Aye. It's like a test for Bill, isn't it? Because Bill wants to give English Bob the gun so he can shoot him and kill him. Know what I mean? So he doesn't need to release him. And Bob also thinks like, aye, that's what this cunt wants. Know what I mean? So he's giving me a gun that isn't loaded. He hasn't given me a chance.
Aye. But well, it's a win-win either way, because if he does, as you say, mate, if he does take the gun and try it, he's getting done in. But the next best scenario is what actually happens. He watches the man fucking shrivel up, and any kind of former legend has just disappeared. He's just emancipated him in front of a guy, you know what I mean?
His bravado is completely gone, isn't it? And then, so, you know, little Bill walks in and he takes the revolver, doesn't he? He just starts emptying the bullets out the revolver. And that's when English Bob's like, "Oh, fuck, it was loaded." "Oh, damn it, blaster, boy. You've got me again."
Little Bill just looks at him as he's unloading the gun and he says, "You were right not to take it, Bob. I'd have killed you."
Aye, exactly.
Like,
I'm going to have a bit of tea and crumpets, you see.
You love saying crumpets. I knew it was coming.
Oh, cookie.
Done that with the ring wrist there. See, pain for Phil Hartman. Oh, so it's pissing the rain.
Oh, dear.
And the boys, our trio are struggling with their horses in the weather and that. So they're riding along, they're getting soaked, and Ned pulls out a bottle of whiskey. Do you want some of this? Will moves like that. He refuses. He says, "I've been off it for 10 years. I don't touch a whiskey anymore." And they both have a wee chat about what do you reckon about what Schofield said? What do you mean about killing the 5 men? And they both can agree that it's talking a lot of shit, don't they?
Aye. Oh, you're talking about Tony Talltail there.
Aye. You didn't
But
kill nobody. But he remembers something about a wrote down. He remembers 3 men and not 2 that he's killed.
aye,
Or Ned remembers, doesn't he?
that was it, because the Philip Schofield is saying, I heard you killed these 2 marshals and all that, and then Ned says to him, I remember it being 3. And he's like, listen, I don't give a fuck what the story is anymore. I want to forget it. Know what I mean? And you're like, oh, he's a hard man, that Clint.
So we're the very next day, and we're saying cheerio to English Bob, who's getting stuck on a taxi out of town, isn't he?
Aye. And he says, what does he ask? Bill, do you have my guns? And then you see the barrels are all bent on it. No, I mean, you're like, bastard.
Pure cartoony, isn't he, man? It's fucking
Aye.
excellent.
That's when Bill says to him, but he says, if I see you back here again, Bob, I'm just going to shoot in self-defense. Know what I mean? But
This is quite funny, but this is where fucking English Bob goes for Kensington to fucking West Ham Bob.
I,
Oh, it sounds like a pure cockney. Oh, the bunch of bloody savages. Get out of it. Doesn't it Dick Van Dyke have thought?
I know, you bloody savages. You're not bloody fit to be real people. We won't have you in England.
Alice and the Hoors are sitting on their porch, and Alice just looks defeated and says, Neddy's going to come. No, after that, know what I mean?
Aye.
So Skinny's like to Mad Delilah, cover up your face, maybe someone will hump you.
So, well, what are them things? What them things called? A veil? Yeah, wear a veil, you ugly bitch.
All the cleaning you've been doing, can't clean things. Put on a veil, somebody hump you.
Harsh.
So as they're riding towards town, William just looks up at the train leaving town, and he fucking recognises English Bob's face, doesn't he?
Aye. And he's like, oh, something's amiss. But obviously this storm's coming into it. And they're just riding into town in the absolute pissing rain. It's like, I say pissing rain, it's just rain here in Scotland, know what I mean?
Just... But obviously William's succumbed to it, and he's ended up with a fever, hasn't he? He's sick.
But it cuts to Bill and the biographer in Bill's house, isn't it? And again, it's Bill is now taking his opportunity to tell this biographer about his deeds, isn't he?
Aye.
He's just
started to be a bit blasé, man.
Aye. Hoovered the right half of him there.
And then little Bill just gets all serious and says, I want you to write this. I do not like assassins or men of low character. You write that. You know what I mean? So for all the bad shit I've done, I've still got my morals. And then the water splashed into it.
Aye. That's what I'm talking about. See the character of Bill. I don't know whether he is like a bad guy or just a pure like fanatic like lawman. Know what I mean? The only way to treat these bad guys is to just do them in, treat them the way they want. They try to treat the world.
I know. I wrote down there as well. I guess it depends how you look at it. I've every I think the same as you, that he's done his bad shit back in the day. He's came to this town. He's a lawman, and he just wants to be that a lawman, no guns, build his wee house and die. But with the emergence of this English Bob and the threat of other assassins coming in, and then he knew he's dealt with English Bob, I think he's got a wee bit of gusto and fucking wee bit of thirst for the. I was actually fucking good at doing that sort of thing. He's got a wee bit drunk in his own fucking power and starts talking to Beauchamp, because Beauchamp's in his house, the roof's leaking, there's splashing, and Beauchamp's getting splashed. He goes, oh, hold on, I'll move that for you. Beauchamp says to him, maybe you should hang the carpenter.
Aye.
No knowing that fucking little Bills built the house, not Bills.
What did you say? You're
Say little
affronted.
fed up. But
But
the
anyway,
deputy comes,
aye.
saved by the bell. Little Bell, some man rode in.
Aye. And we're into back to the bar, aren't we? And Will's sitting at this bar. Obviously, he's got the fever. You know what I mean? He's got COVID. And he's sitting shivering and all this. And he's remembering again people that he's killed, isn't he? I can't remember the guy's
Ned
name.
says
No,
to him, man, Jesus, Will, you look like shit. And Williams, as you say, mate, starting to see dead people. He's turned into fucking Sixth Sense. Remember that guy back in fucking Texas that I shot through the eyeball? And I see him, Ned. See him all the time. Comes to me.
It's got a broken face. Maggots in his face. Face on his face.
I sees little worms coming out his eyes and such. And Ned's like, that's terrible, that. Do you mind if I go up and get my hole?
Oh, I'll tell you right now, Well, I know it'll warm your bones up, son, but I'm going up the stair to batter a beaver to death there.
Aye, I'm going to try and get a signal on her boots. But he pours a whiskey for Will and sits in front of him. And even though Will's delirious and all the other place, he just looks at this whiskey and it just shoves it away, doesn't he, man?
Aye, that's the demon, that. But as he does
That's the badness.
Bill comes in,
So
doesn't he?
enter Bill, mate, and he fucking comes in. And here, just what we're talking about there, see Bill went a wee bit full circle now. He's fucking believing his own fucking legend, isn't he, a bit?
Yeah, he's went full dictator, isn't he? Walks in.
They don't half fucking surround Will, but you know what I mean? Got about fucking 10 guns on him.
Aye. But again, he comes in and says to him, "Nay, you're not allowed any guns here in this town and all this stuff." And Will's just saying, "Oh, well, we're not all armed and all this." And in fact, he goes like that, "I ain't drunk." Like, that's not what I bloody asked you.
What's your name, Mister Hendershot?
Aye. But Bill tries to goad him into shooting him as well, doesn't he? He's like, "Well, what if I were to call you a cowardly, sorry ass piece of shit? You'd probably shoot me, wouldn't you, son? You'd probably shoot me."
Well, I don't know because I ain't armed, see? But turns out he is armed, stuns him up, takes a gun. So what's this for then? Snakes and such. And then it just does the same as he done English Bob, starts fucking setting about him, doesn't he?
Aye, sending another message to people, isn't it? That anybody that comes here, you're just going to get fucking absolutely destroyed. It's just this man Will just getting battered, booting. You know what I mean?
Aye. And his two fucking pals are jumping at Wendy's. That's
Mate, I was howling
a
at
bit
us.
snide.
See Mad Ned, and he's trying to pull his boot on. He's like, "Come on, man!" And then the next time he falls at this window, tries to put his boot on, mate. It's just for some reason, mate. I just think that's Western. You know what I mean? Try to pull your boot on and then fall out a window.
It's very Blazing Saddles, isn't it?
But
so William crawls along the floor of the bar, crawls right out into the mud and the piss and rain and just collapses in the street, doesn't he?
aye, just lays there on the street. But Bill doesn't go after him, didn't know. He goes up to quiz the horse. Like, are you listening to BBC Two instead of Radio One, you bastard?
So the lassies say, I don't know their names, they were just in for their hole, they weren't in for anything else, they weren't away him. They were at my fucking most talked about vagina. My vagina's famous, don't you know?
Oh,
But little Bill's just, he's not having it, know what I mean? Slaps Alice, says they're only here for the poontang I brought. But the boys pick up William after debt, and Ned, they get back to camp. Ned starts stitching them up, doesn't he?
aye. This is and it's just they're all hiding out, aren't they, while Will recovers. But Will obviously in pure grips of the fever, isn't he? And he goes full Sixth Sense mode, doesn't he? Because he's got a blanket and all that up here. And you can see his breath. He's like, Ned, I thought Claudia, she had worms in her face. Snap out of it, William.
Aye.
Oh.
So wherever they're holed up anyway, a couple of the prostitute lassies are kind of going back and forth with some food and supplies, and they're giving Schofield and Ned a couple of freebies and all that.
Some
After
cookie.
1,000. Some cookie.
Oh. But
But Ned asks, as they're about to ride off, he says, I'm going to need some food and medicine for 3 days. Ned's obviously turned into a fucking physician. He knows. 3 days, that fever. It's a 3-day, even if he makes it, because Schofield asks him, is he going to die? And Ned says, he might. You know what I mean?
That's it. But eventually, hang me. See what the woman on Philip Schofield, they horn him the pictures of what these guys look like, and it's 2 charcoal drawings. You're like that. This could be fucking anybody.
I know,
Just like
exactly, man.
imagine it just they held it out of them and it was just 2 wee stick guys with cowboy hats on.
There's a good bit when Williams when you said there, he was talking about Claudia, his wife, and he can see her, she's the angel of death, and she's got worms coming out of her. And he there's a wee bit of good acting, doesn't he? He says, I'm scared, Ned. I'm scared I'm going to die, and all that, you know what I mean?
I don't tell my kids about what I did and all that stuff, you know what I mean?
Aye, that was quite, you're like, oh, the hell for the wins. The rancid pigs and the like.
Oh, it's salted and roasted.
I know, it's leaving Braveheart. They've even got a big bowl of salt in the house.
Oh, dear.
So the next thing we know, it's snowing. No luck at all. And it was meant to be spring because the boys brought back the ponies in the springtime. But anyway, doesn't matter. So William kind of comes to his senses. He's broke his fever, and it's young Delilah that's kind of tending to him. Wee Chip cooking in it.
Chimps.
It looks as if Edward Scissorhands trying to fucking stroke her cheeks.
It's like that. The old Will just puts his foot right in it, doesn't he? And he goes, "Oh, big guy, beat me up pretty bad, eh? I must look like you right now, eh?"
Aye.
What you do, not you cheeky bastard?
I know. He realises what he says. I mean, I know I don't look like you because you look like an angel compared to me. I'm ugly. And so he's a gentleman, isn't he? Because she says to him, look, your friends have been taking freebies. Would you like a free one? Because I would. And he goes like, nah, I'm all right. Oh, I didn't mean off of me, because why would you want one off of me? My big chip cooking. I meant off the other two. And he's still a gentleman about it. He says, look, no, hen, it's nothing to do with you. See, if I did want a wee freebie, I would want it with you Freddy Krueger looking bitch.
You don't look at the mantelpiece when you're poking the fire, you see. So
great advice. You is but a light switch away. Or a blown out candle in this fucking era. So it makes her feel good about herself, it's nice. He doesn't have to do it, but he does it. Do you know what I mean? He's just broke his free for fuck's sake, and he's caring about this lassie's feelings, which is quite good. So Delilah, she admires him for being true to his wife, who she then finds out is dead, and she admires him even more because he's true to her memory, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. But
talks to her nose, that lassie, no, didn't she?
Aye, an awful lot. Well, saying that, she's been slashed across the nose. I suppose it would leave some lasting effect there.
I suppose so. She probably broke her nose into the bargain. So next I've shouted, "Push!"
Aye.
So, because they're up in the hills, aren't they?
Aye, they're up in the hills, and they've scouted out where one of these cowboys hangs about, aren't they? And
aye, Patter here's fucking tremendous.
Aye, so Ned goes to take a shot and he shoots this young cowboy's horse, doesn't he? And the horse breaks his leg.
It's the good one and the bad two, isn't it?
Aye. Again, obviously, we've already said I don't think he done much wrong, but he's getting done anyway for some reason.
Aye. So the horse obviously collapses with him still on it, breaks his leg, and he's pinned. And that's when he starts, "Hey, boss, I'm pinned here, boss. Somebody's shooting at us. I think I broke my leg, boss. Come help me, Skeeter."
Aye, but this is when Ned realizes he's changed as well, isn't it? Because he can't take the killer shot. Know what I mean? And he just like he looks at William, didn't he? And he's like, I can't do it.
I know. And then this bit is fucking really uncomfortable
Aye,
because for two reasons. Will just regresses back to what he knows. I'm going to kill this cunt, right?
aye.
And then he can't hit him. And you're like, oh, fucking. You're starting to wish that he would just shoot him. When he shoot this guy, man, that guy must be down there. He's trying to crawl away with his life. He knows somebody's fucking taking pot shot or something. Help me, boys! Somebody's shooting at me here, boys. Like, oh no.
But aye, but I eventually did shoot him, didn't he? But this is a thing as well in this. You don't really see like a lot of people like getting shot. Know what I mean? It's not particularly violent this film. I don't know.
No, apart from a couple of rounds of GBH, but you don't see anybody actually, as you say, mate, getting like jangoed in it, if you know what I mean.
It's not pure graphic. Know what I mean? You know what's happening, but it's not really like explosive in your face. But
Aye. But as you say, he does get him with the last round, but it's no an instant kill. The guy's been shot in the gut. That's when he starts shouting, "Oh, I'm dying, boys. So thirsty, boys." And then Will comes back to present day Will and goes, "Give him a drink of water. God damn it."
oh mate, it's just that. But I'm down,
Give him a drink of water for crying out loud. But you'll shoot us. I won't shoot you. Give him a drink of water.
It's
So
kind of
they lets the
uncomfortable,
guy.
I don't know. And it because it like Will and Ned are sitting there and they're just having to listen to this guy die. You know what I mean? And they're just sitting there and they're like,
Ned's turned into fucking woe's me. He's just looking at his boots, man. You know what I mean?
But
So
eventually,
right after this, the guy dies and Ned just says, "I'm out," doesn't he?
aye, that's it. He's like, nah, I can't do this anyway. I'm done killing. I'm heading back south. And we follow Schofield. He's like, where you gonna lose your cat? Like, shut up, you wee dick.
Here, take my rifle. And he trots off. And then Will goes, "Wait there, come here, you. Here, take your rifle. We don't need it. Look in my kids on the way back. And then I'll come and see you and I'll give you your cut. Don't worry about it and all that."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Will."
It's back into the tour, isn't it? And Bill's like gathered a posse into everybody's all there. The whole toon's it.
Aye. So, as you say, the deputies are having a powwow. Alice tells dear Delilah about Will's dead wife and all that, about how he's a true gentleman and all that kind of stuff. And a guy informs, every week I can't fucking say words, man, honest to God. One of the guys informs little Bill that they've caught someone, and without Will and that knowing, they've caught Ned, haven't they, mate?
Aye, that's it. Caught Ned. A couple of cowboys have caught him. But obviously, Will and Schofield don't know anything about this, and they go scouting for this other cowboy, don't they? And they're hiding out at this location, so they're waiting on him to come out at this ranch. All the while, Ned has been taken into the jailhouse, isn't he? And he's being tortured for information. But little Bill's whipping him, isn't he? And the whole town can hear it, and it's just fucking horrible, isn't it?
Oh, that's horrible. And then another thing which is extremely clever on little Bill's part is probably for the minute he started questioning him and whipping him, he's told Beauchamp right down every one of his answers.
Aye.
So, because obviously after a while, Ned's succumbing to the pain and he's forgetting his lean lies. He goes, "Is that true? Is that you were only here for Mr. Beauchamp? What did they say the last time about that?" And that's when you realise that he's been writing down, and Ned's like, "Fuck, I fucked up, man."
I know what I mean. But as Bill says to him as well, go and get the two hookers for across the street. And then he
Oh,
whispers
sinister.
he whispers into Ned's ear, and he's like, "Well, Ned, when they come over, they're going to tell different lies from your lies, and I'm not going to hurt any women, and I'm not going to hurt you like nicely like I did before." And you just see Ned like that, bastard.
Aye. You see Ned go, you're not going to hurt me nicely, what you've been
Aye.
doing. My fucking spine is getting a draft here. You know what
I
I
know
mean?
what I mean.
No back
Aye.
left.
Fucking back's hanging down like fucking strips of bacon. Know what I mean? But
So we then go to this like hut out in the middle of nowhere, and it's getting scoped out by Schofield and Will. And even though they're that far away, we fucking Schofield says, "Sure is rap out here." William
Aye.
says, "It's gonna get right."
But then it's the other cowboy, isn't it? He eventually comes out of this hut and he's gone to the outhouse, isn't he? And this is
Aye, the
Schofield's
bad
opportunity.
bastard that
Aye,
started all this garbage.
exactly.
But he's even getting a bit magnanimous about it, isn't he? What you going to do? Come for a ship with me and protect me? I think I'll be all right. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? But they sooner he goes into this fucking portal, doesn't he? And wee Schofield runs round fucking the blind mice. He goes round and first he opens the dang door, doesn't he? And there's nobody in the toilet. And then that big deputy, the big guy, he steps out. Assassins!
I'm not assassins. I don't even think that was a word fucking back then, you know what I mean? So Will takes a shot at the fat dude, misses obviously. Fat dude takes cover. Schofield's still out in the fucking wilderness and he goes like, he looks to his left and goes, "There's another toilet attached to this toilet." Swings open that door and your man's sitting in the pan and there's an awful long time between Schofield's pointing the gun at the guy and doing away with him, isn't there?
Aye. But I can see it if obviously he's not not a mad killer, know what I mean? Because otherwise he just went bang, bang, bang right away. But he's kind of hesitant, isn't he? But he eventually gets the job done, know what I mean? And then
He gives him three, he gives him fucking taps him in the head and all, man. One of them. So
John
then the
whips
two of
him.
them have to make the two of them have to make haste away for the rest of the posse and obviously escape without a fucking cut or a bruise or a gunshot, you know.
Aye. They're making their getaway anyway while they're getting shot at and all this shit. And then they're standing by. See, this is another thing, right? Oh, we can't go into town, people will see us, but we'll just stand far enough that we can see the town be a big bare tree on top of a hill, no less.
Ain't nobody going to see us in the silhouette, you know what I mean? So it's obvious, it's clear that, as you say, mate, Will is looking at the town. All the while, the kid's sitting against a tree, down in whiskey, talking shakingly, and he's fucking rattled, man.
Aye, that's it. He's coming to terms with what he just did. Know what I mean? Drinking whiskey like a madman. Know what I mean?
Aye.
Slugging at it and all see this.
I shot that fucker 3 times. William knows. He fucking, and he's just answering them back. Sure, kid. Yeah, kid.
Aye.
Take another drink, kid. You know what I mean?
Aye, he's had enough. I've done my job. I want paid. I want to get to fuck. Know what I mean? But no sooner this woman rides up, didn't she? And she's just, there's the money and all that. And while they're talking, Will's like, I'll make sure we give Ned his cut. And then this is when, oh,
my hair. Because the job was done. They were waiting on money, going to get back home, and then the wee cow just says, I thought you knew. I thought you knew Ned was dead. And that's when Will just, the switch just fucking flicks, because the first thing he says, they killed Ned, but he didn't kill anybody. You know what I mean? He never done anything wrong.
Whose motorcycle is this? Ned's. Ned's dead, baby.
I specifically told you to get my watch. I possess.
Your father.
So William's obviously fucking raging.
Aye, he just reaches for the whiskey, doesn't he? Just starts slugging away, and then while this lassie's telling him the story, isn't it? Aye, it was hurting Ned, trying to get information, and then he started hurting him worse, and then eventually Ned told him your names. He wasn't saying anything at first and all that, and obviously that's Will gets a pang of guilt, didn't he? So he killed Ned for what we done, and then what is it? Aye, Ned, they've got a sign on his body outside and all that, and he's like, what? They've got a sign on Ned's body?
They got a sign on him outside Greenleys. Got a sign outside Greenleys? He's fucking raging now, man. Especially because it's outside Greeley's. So that must be Skinny's second name. They discover Ned, as you say, mate, obviously succumbed, had to tell them just before he died. But you're getting the impression that it wasn't Little Bill's intention to fucking kill him, but he has just beat him to death, isn't he?
Aye, that's it. Like he's just drunk on punishing these people, know what I mean? He's just obviously gets awful and beating people up, know what I mean? He suppressed it for a while. But
see when the lassie says that Ned gave up your names, and then so Will knows Little Bill's going to know his fucking name, but he says to the girl, he says, "It didn't scare Little Bill, did it?" And she's like, "No." So he knows who he's fucking dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's but that's he says to the Schofield in it, kid, give me a Schofield. I'm going back to the old ways.
Keep the gun and the money, kid. And then the wee guy, the wee Schofield, wee prick, his last thing he says to him, "I ain't like you, Will." That right? Didn't need to say that, you wee dick. You know what I mean?
No, I mean,
especially after he's just said to him, like, try to comfort him and said, "It's a hell of a thing killing a man, taking away all he's got and all he's ever going to have." You know what I mean?
Exactly. But
I like you, Will.
He's-
You shot a guy 3 times saying "I shite." You're worse than me, mate. Only thing he drew for was fucking toilet paper.
Aye. But then as they're riding back into town and it's raining again, Will says to Schofield, didn't he? Take the money and give my half and Ned's half to my kids. And if I don't come back, tell them to go and live with fucking whatever her name is.
Sally True Trees or something.
Aye, Sally True Trees, that's it. But Will's riding into town, isn't he? And it's the music and everything's changed. The whole demeanour of the film has changed, know what I mean? And
the sound of the rain is deafening, if you know what I mean. It's teeming. Kudos to the cinematographer, whoever it was in this, because in fact, Eastwood directed and co-wrote it, didn't he, as well? The cinematography in this is brilliant because it makes you feel this is a horrible time, man. This is a horrible place to be.
Yeah, definitely. Shit's about to go down. But as Will's riding up to Grilly's, he sees Ned's body in it. And it's in like a casket, an open casket, but it's got "This is what happens to assassins" round here across it. And you're just like, "Oh, you bastards. Look what he did to my boy."
It's my best friend. So the guys, Little Bill's organising a posse and dishing out the drink and all that to people, a bit blasé.
Aye.
But that's when Will walks in to the bar. "Who's the fella owns this shithole?" And Mad Skinny just goes away and he just doesn't even give him a chance to say nothing and just fucking blows him away, man, doesn't he?
Aye, he just blows up. Aye, shoots him in it, and then Mad Wee Bill gets pure affronted. "You coward, son of a bitch! You would have shot another man." He's like,
should have armed himself then, shouldn't he? He's going to decorate his establishment with my friends.
You know what I mean? And then I was like, because it's like the whole room, right? See the whole room? They were all like, "Yes, we're going to fucking do this and all that." And then this mad bastard walks in, and it's like, oh, I'm only a wee boy.
So then Will, he's obviously had a wee drink and all that. He's feeling he's back to the old ways. And he just says, "I've killed women, children, I've killed fucking everything. I don't give a fuck." and I'm here to kill you, little Bill. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Da-da-da-da-da.
9-9. But see what he says to the other guys as well. Y'all better clear out of there. And these people go, you're on your own, Bill.
Aye. Fuck you, Bill, take your drink back. So he just draws up his rifle, points it at Little Bill. Little Bill's fucking shiting it, and then clicks, and Bill's eyes just light up and goes, misfire.
And that's I've just wrote down, shoot out. Because the next thing, obviously, because he's back on the drink, there's no missing cans. You know what I mean? Will's got back to his best, and he just fucking shoots like Little Bill, and I think he shoots like another 4 or 5 guys. You know what I mean?
It's
And
fucking excellent, mate, because he fucks up Little Bill's draw by throwing the rifle at him.
Aye.
And a natural human reaction, as you know, is to go like that. Oh, what's that? To try and catch whatever's been thrown at you. So it gives Will enough time to get his gun out, point, shoot him. Class, man.
Aye. It's just, oh mate, and then because after he's done, he just goes to the bar and he just starts drinking whiskey again. And what's his name again? Is it Beauchamps or something? He's underneath her body. He's like, I've been shot. And he's like, you ain't shot.
It's not your blood, you fat prick. But just before he takes his drink, he says, any man not wanting to get shot better clear on out of here.
Oh,
And then we just see as he's drinking that Little Bill's no deeding to know he's on the flare, and
aye.
he's obviously mortally wounded, but he sees his gun, he's going to try and go for it, isn't he?
Aye. Because like me, Beauchamps, he's like that. He's getting pure off on it again, like fucking. Like, oh, who did you shoot first? Who did you do this to? Because he sees his eyes have lit up. Oh, this is my story. This is my guy I write about. You know what I mean? But
It's the lowest lane of his time.
but yeah, like he says, Will just tells him, get to. I don't know who I shoot first, but I know who I'm going to shoot last. You know what I mean? Like, get yourself to fuck you, wee dick. But
See that rifle? He's that fucking rifle. You know what I mean?
aye,
But
like,
he's just slabbery. You, you, you killed 5 men.
but see this at all. I thought Little Bill was going to get the shot on Will. You know what I mean? See when he starts like cocking his gun and he goes to shoot Will, but Will turns around time and gets him. You know what I mean? You're like, oh.
Little Bill's last words. Again, this is him just went full circle into being drunk in his own power, because even though he's been wounded, he says, I don't deserve this. I was Billy the House.
Aye.
So that was obviously his nickname, because he worked the hardest towns in Texas. That's why I said he must have been fucking Roadhouse back in the day. You know what I mean?
Definitely. But
I was Billy the House. I'll see you in hell. Yeah.
I'll see you in hell, money. But again, without see the tension there as well, he makes him wait before he kills him. Know what I mean? And you can see like, Little Bill's hard man demeanor like start to waver. Know what I mean? Because his face is starting to twitch and all that. But again, doesn't show you the shot. Just boom. Know what I mean? And then that's it done.
Yeah. And as he's walking out the bar, there's a wounded guy in the flare and he just fucking finishes him off.
That's him with the one arm. Is it named Clyde or something?
Clyde, aye.
He's trying to get up.
John
His arm isn't there. He's like, oh.
Oh, get the man a hit.
He was another one that actually had a horrible typewriting accident. I mean, they're more common than you think, but
oh, it was a whole space bar instant. It was always horrendous. Telling you, fucking letters everywhere. I ended up in a coma. In the hospital in a coma. So he shouts before he leaves the bar, look, I'll shoot anybody, man, woman or child, and then I'll shoot his wife who draws on me.
Aye.
So he's actually he's instilled that much fear on people who could probably cut him down, no bother, outside 10 to 1, that are like, no, I'm not even fucking drawn against him.
See, this bit is cool as fucking all, man, because see when he gets up on his horse, that's when it kind of tippled to me as well. Death rides a pale horse. You know what I mean? And he is deaf. You know what I mean? You're just like, that's fucking superb, man. But
And he still has a wee shout of instructions before he goes. You better bury Ned right now, or I'll come back here, shoot every fucking last one of you.
and Eddie's touching the wheels and all. Know what I mean? And it's just that music. Know what I mean? See as he rides it, and the tune and he just rides into the darkness, like never to be seen again. Know what I mean? They're all like that.
And then there's no time to really think about it. It's the very last scene, and it's the kind of opening scene again. It's the silhouette,
aye,
but it's him at his wife's grave. I think he's just like putting flowers down or something in it.
aye, because he eventually leaves there. He go live somewhere else. But this is what I didn't understand either, because it says like there wasn't a specific reason for why his wife married him, and I'm like, well, why would there be a reason? Know what I mean?
Aye. So obviously just saw something in him, loved him, and married him. But
Aye.
the ending montage is some years later, Mrs. Anastasia Feathers, who was Claudia's ma, made the arduous journey to Hogman County to visit the last resting place of her only daughter. William Money had long since disappeared with his children. Some said to San Francisco, where it was rumoured he prospered in dry goods. And there was nothing in the market to explain to Mrs. Feathers why her only daughter had married a known thief and murderer, a man of notoriously vicious and intemperate disposition. You're right, mates. Why would there be?
Aye, know what I mean? There's nothing. There's like no flashbacks or anything. It's just I don't understand why it was there, but obviously there was a meaning there for some reason.
There's no backstory to be had there. That didn't need one either. Sometimes fucking good people go away, bad people make them better people. It just happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it did then.
Maybe she was sent from God.
Aye, exactly. Just gave him 10 years of sobriety, and then in the end, he used everything that was bad about him to do a good thing. You know what I mean? So,
aye,
redemption and all that. Plus, he's in San Francisco dealing in dry goods.
Going down to San Francisco.
Must have invented kitchen roll.
So, what are you getting out of 10, mate?
A solid 8, mate. Solid 8 out of 10 for me. Aye.
I'll get an 8 and all. An 8.
Magic.
Yeah.
What's your Glaswegianism? Bzzz.
Unforgiven. I don't know, mate. Just.
He's just still a prick.
No to be trusted.
Not to be trusted 1 ounce, 1 bit. So there we go. That was Unforgiven, 1992. An absolutely tremendous watch if you have never seen it. Some great acting in it, great story. There's no thinking about it. It just is what it is. And it actually goes by quite quick for an over 2 hours film, I thought.
Aye. It's a lot of there's long scenes in it, but they're exciting long scenes. So it kind of takes your attention away for the running time, know what I mean?
That's brilliant. So there we go. In partnership with Tone Multimedia, that was the Unforgiven Series 2, episode 23 of What's the Script. We've got another 2 to go. We know what our final episode is going to be covering, so we'll keep that to next week. Chris has got the penultimate decision for the penultimate episode, and you had 3 in mind, mate, which I don't know what 3 you had in mind. Never mind fucking 1.
Well, one of the first ones was Terror in the Pacific, but I don't think we can get that anywhere. It's the one with, who do you call him? I've totally forgot his name. It's an old man mind. It was the American soldier and the Japanese soldier get stuck on an island together.
Right.
That.
Aye.
But I can't find it anywhere. The other one was Shanghai Noon. And the other one is Hot Tub Time Machine. So I think it's going to be Hot Tub Time Machine, mate.
that could be a lengthy episode, that one. Some fucking brilliant soundtrack, that and all.
Oh, it's superb, mate. So, but aye.
Big Darrow for The Office.
Oh, mate, there's so much to it, mate. There's so much. Know what I mean?
Excellent.
So
Look forward to that.
there you go. Hot
Tub
Tub Time Machine.
Obviously, a big shout out as well to Seismic Cinema, who had us on their show to do a collaboration on Hot Fuzz. See, it was that long ago. I could nearly forgot because it's still not been put out yet. What he's up to, man? What he's up to?
They
What I
were
listened to it all week.
they were away partying on a stag do, mate. They need
That's right.
recovery time.
Young Colin had 3 shandies and was cutting about with a pot plant.
Aye. Aye. Congrats, by the way. I don't think we said it at the time, but congrats.
Congratulations on your impending nuptials, my man. I hope there's plenty of apple crumble on the horizon for you. And Paul, I hope your missus doesn't shout at you that often as well. Because you looked off your feet when she came into the shop and you just looked up and went, I didn't say that. That wasn't me. I swear to God. But we had a lot of fun. He's a good couple of chaps and we'll do it again. Definitely.
Yes. Oh, thanks everybody for listening and tuning in. Love, like, share, tell your friends.
Right. Definitely. Tell your friends. I've since disposed of my Facebook page because it was just nothing happening. I get very bored of it. So, but you can still catch us on all the other platforms, guys. Maybe when we hit the stratosphere, we'll go back in Facebook. We'll get one of our many aides to set one up for us, you know.
Oh, so many of them there. So many on the bench.
Bevy of aides. Oh, did it sound right? A bevy of aides. Right, mate, I'm offski. Cheery bye.
Cheery bye.
I'll be the last one left when the lights go out. I'm down to one last breath, but I can't stop now. We all fall down sometimes, yeah, but that's just life. So cross my heart and hope to die. Baby, I was born to fight the fear when I feel like dying. I'm trying to fly high, but I'm not a pilot, can't deny it. There's some days I feel idiotic, just a product of a system where you're lucky just to